How you feeling, Mikey?
I'm doing fine. Pretty excited. Be here. Big event, huge event. And to be able to come here and sit live and talk boxing behind the mic, couldn't be any easier.
What's your prediction for the main event?
I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I think it'll be a complicated matchup in the earlier half. I could see Saunders winning maybe 2 or 3 of the first 6 rounds, which makes it a competitive fight. But I think Canelo makes the adjustments and corrects a few things and starts closing the gap, cutting the ring, and starts to take over. I see Canelo winning the fight, but in a good match.
Let me ask you this, Mikey. You've been at this biggest stage, man. You're an elite fighter. You're one of the best fighters in the world. You know what it takes, man. And you fought here in this building before. But you looking from the outside looking in as a commentator, what are some of the key things that you're looking for that you want to see in Canelo, but that you also want to see in Billy Joe Saunders?
I mean, I've seen Canelo enough to understand and appreciate that he is honestly one of the very best. He's developed very well. He gained a lot of confidence in himself now, which allows him to fight that much better.
Yes.
Earlier in his career, it was kind of unconvincing. They had a couple of wins that were not as convincing, and there were still doubts. And I think a lot of people will agree that earlier in his career, some fights we expected so much more out of him, and he just wasn't there yet. But after the rematch with Triple G, I think he really showed us that the full Canelo, the full potential that he has, and he convinced me. And I have no doubt that he is one of the very best pound for pound, especially in that division. I don't think anybody beats him right now. So, I mean, I want to see Saunders, box effectively, because if he can do that, then that makes the fight that much better.
Exactly.
But I still feel that Canelo is that much better, where he can make those adjustments and just take over the fight.
And you being a Mexican-American fighter, Mikey, I know you come, Mexican-American, you have those strong roots in you, bro. You have a lot of fans in California, here in Texas. I mean, they showed out yesterday, especially at the weigh-ins, and you were very gracious with your time, signing autographs, taking pictures. But do you feel, in your honest opinion, that with Canelo Alvarez, that the criticism that he receives, not only from a lot of the Mexican greats, do you feel it's warranted?
I mean, I think he'll receive criticism whenever he fights opponents that the fans don't approve. And it doesn't just go for Canelo, it goes to any fighter. If any fighter fights an opponent that people don't feel he should, or that opponent deserves to be in the ring with them, people are going to criticize. But then you got to give him credit for fighting the fights like tonight.
Yes.
Fighting undefeated champions like Saunders or Smith or
that's right.
The guys that the champions that he's faced. You got to give him credit for that. So I think tonight's fight is where people want to see him in, with fights like this. And you'll see more of that. Sometimes the fight isn't available at the moment.
That's right.
He's got to take someone else, mandatory challengers or another stay busy fight. But as long as he keeps fighting these kind of fights, I think the people need to appreciate more.
And with you, Mikey, obviously you kind of broke it your own way, man. You're your own boss. You are advised. You worked with Eddie Hearn. You worked without him in PBC top rank. How difficult, in your opinion, would you say, if Canelo's victorious, him fighting a Caleb Plant, possibly using Eddie Hearn to broker a deal with Al Heyman?
I think Canelo's doing the right thing, where he can really dictate where he wants to take his career, how to guide his own career. Working with Eddie, I'm sure they've structured a great deal together.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's fight by fight or 2 fights or 3 fights or whatever, I'm sure it's very beneficial for Canelo. I've heard him say that he won't work with anybody else, that he's just great working with Eddie. So I don't doubt that they can work a deal where they can co-promote together with say PBC and get the fight with Caleb Plant or any other promoter. And I think that's the way it should be.
That's right.
That's the only way to get the fights done.
That's right.
Unfortunately, when it doesn't happen like that, that's when fans miss out on fights, because certain promoters aren't able to work with each other, and that sucks. Because even though the fighter might want to, sometimes the promoter doesn't want it. It doesn't fit his agenda. So I think Canelo has all the opportunity right now to get all the fights that people want to see.
And as a fighter, what fighter do you see that could give Canelo the best match? I know you say you don't see nobody beat him in this division.
I don't see anybody beating him, but you do have guys that can be difficult in a way, just like Saunders. He's got the style, southpaw style, slick boxer who can give him a challenge. Bubu Andre is another fighter, maybe not as strong and big guy, to possess a threat, you know, a powerful threat to Canelo, but the style, the trickiness, the slickness of Boo Andre is one of those that can be difficult for Canelo. Those are the guys that can do that. Caleb Plant, you know, he does have power, even though he doesn't really go after the power. He has power. He's big, naturally a big dude also. He's got the skills to do so. So those guys can all give Canelo a challenge in the fight, you know, a difficult fight because of the style. I don't think they hurt Canelo. I don't think they beat Canelo. Canelo's running through everybody, you know, and I think he's in his prime. He's unstoppable right now.
And as a fighter, with the fighter mentality, you came to a hostile territory when you fought Spence. I mean, it was more for your fans out here. Charlo said he'll go fight Canelo in Guadalajara. What goes in a fighter mindset when you want to go to that hometown and try to dethrone him?
That's confidence and you know, faith in yourself. And like I said, that's how I want to see a champion. That's how I want to hear a champion. That tells me he's confident in himself and he's willing to, you know, go to someone's backyard and not be afraid, you know. And Charlo's another fighter, you know, that has great skills, great talent, and power. So those are all the champions, you know, can potentially give Canelo a great matchup. And who knows? I mean, it is boxing. You know, any given night could be your night. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if one of these guys all of a sudden, you know, comes with, you know, gives us the upset. You know, it's like, wow, well, he is fighting champions. You know, he is fighting top dogs. So at that level, anything could happen.
Let me ask you this, Mikey. I know you're coming at being a Spanish commentator tonight. Yes. You know, considering that you're not fighting a fight, is the preparation a little bit differently? Were you having to do more studying as far as film? And is this something that you foresee yourself doing your career after boxing, considering that you also have Mikey Garcia Promotions, you're a savvy businessman, you got other business ventures?
This is easy for me to come here and watch fucking, you know, boxing.
That's right.
And just be behind the mic and talk and share the fans what my opinions are, what I'm seeing in the ring.
Yes.
Give a little bit of insight. That's fun for me. That's easy work. So
yeah.
I could definitely see myself doing this more often.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing it a couple times here and there as a guest, but maybe when I get closer to my retirement, maybe I start focusing on something like this. Because, I mean, who else gets to go to the fights, you know, big events like this, and chill and actually watch it and enjoy it, and you know, it's fun. So I think you'll see me more doing this behind the mic.
What's next for you?
Nothing yet. We don't have anything secured, but I do want to get back. Trying to see if we can put something together for maybe July.
What are your eyes on? You got anybody eyes?
Nah, nothing yet. You know, I'm open to fight anybody. You know, anybody that's available. If anybody that's available, you know, 140, 147. I know 140 is occupied right now with Jose and Taylor, so I gotta wait for that. But there's other fighters that I could possibly fight at 140, or, you know, maybe 147. I don't mind, you know. So we'll see what happens.
And if proper comes to DBC, man, we can get a proper